Hi, my name is Isaac, and this is Uncommon.
Hi, my name is Sam, and this is The Uncommon.
Hi, my name is Jack, and this is Uncommon.
Uncommon is a production focused on the why of business, media, and marketing. It's made by my team at Neural, a digital agency for challenger brands and talent. To learn more, just visit neural.com. That's neurale.com. All right, my guests this week, Swag on the Beat, content creators, writers, sketch comics. Gents, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
First thing that I need to ask you is, do any of your legit fans, not friends or family or anything like that, actually know your last name?
I don't reckon
I
they
don't
do.
think so.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't. Yeah.
And are you guys like purposely almost anon? Like, is there something in that you didn't want people to know like your names?
I think we try to be a little bit mysterious, but we don't go out of our way too much to do it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably coming in at a zero social media record previous to this, so it didn't take much effort for me to hide nothing.
Jack's got one photo. He's got one photo on his Instagram posted,
And what is it?
5 years ago.
It's me and two mates at schoolies.
Oh, right.
And I'm 400 now, so it was a long time ago.
It's a good photo.
Yeah.
How long ago was schoolies?
8 years ago.
Yeah, but you went last year as well. Didn't
Yeah, but the plan is
shit.
to, at the 10-year anniversary.
He does look like a bit of a
Just keep it close shaven, you fit in nicely. But at the exact 10-year mark, I want to recreate the photo.
Okay.
So that's the second post that goes up.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that in 2 years. Cheers.
I like that. There's a bit that I like that. There's a bit of a meme culture aspect in that.
Yeah.
Okay, so first things first, I've got to ask, earliest Inception memory for you guys individually. Like, what's the earliest thing that you remember?
It's a hard question.
Ever?
Yeah.
Ever?
Oh, hang on.
I remember being in my old house. I was about 4 years old, and it was the middle of the night, and Dad was packing up the Legos, and he dropped it in the hallway, and it all went everywhere, and he just like screamed the F word, and it was the first time I heard my dad swear, and that scarred me forever. I haven't spoken to him since. So.
Jordan, that's really funny because he's the most placid man of all time.
His dad?
Yeah,
you're
and
right.
so nice and everything all the time. So that's kind of funny to hear.
Okay, that's interesting. So this is very like different to your dad's personality typically.
My personality?
Not your dad's.
Oh, no, that
like that
event.
type of nature.
Yes, it is. Hasn't dropped Lego since, or
Okay.
like a rare F-bomb.
And this
what-
time,
It was very out of character.
Why do you think that one sticks out? It's just the fact that he's like.
I can't. I would have been probably 4 years old, and I can't think of anything earlier than that.
Can't remember it.
Yeah, right.
You were drunk.
Yeah, I was smashed.
The thing for me was like
Third year.
I was at kinder, and we were doing like Play-Doh sort of shapes, if you remember. And then the same week, my parents got like a bit of cement put on the side of the house, and then there was these offcuts of wood that looked like shapes. So I took the wood and I put it in the cement, and I got the belting of my life.
What were the shapes at least? Or just like a square?
Just square, triangle.
Nice.
Stupid.
Some pretty good
That's got to
shapes.
stand the test of time. Those shapes. It
Yeah.
might not be around. In
Well,
20 years.
they just got it redone. I was like, oh, missed opportunity. They should have kept it.
True.
Bit of character. Sam, what about you?
Well, I reckon I was maybe 4 or 5, and I got hit. My brother was on a swing, like one of those old wooden swings, and he jumped off the swing and it hit me in the head, and I've got a bit of a scar there.
Okay.
And I thought I was Harry Potter because he had the same scar. So I used to watch
must
the
hit you
movies.
pretty hard.
Yeah, I was getting cast. Still am.
Was Harry
actually.
Potter even out? Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
No, but can you please remember that?
But when I first saw Harry Potter, I thought, that's a documentary about me.
Oh,
so
nice.
he obviously came across
Interesting.
some swings.
Have
But
you
yeah.
prepared that answer somewhere?
No, I didn't. No,
That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Is that one of
I
those
don't care.
things where your brother still doesn't live that down? Like there's always
Yeah.
that repeat family
It is
story?
brought up a few times, like
Yeah.
when we're in an argument, like, and I try to make him feel bad. I'm like, well, why did you do
Swinggate.
the swing? Yeah.
Yeah.
My sister at 6 years of age got on like a sort of one of those plastic tricycles. Maybe she was 4 actually. Seems more
What
realistic.
was she? 4 or 6? Which one was
4.
Okay.
And so we had a slide
down.
in the backyard, like in a cubby, like you got a cubby house and a
Sick.
slide.
Must be nice.
And so me and my brother were going down the slide on this like little bike, and she's like, "Oh, well, I've got to try that too."
Oh, no.
And so she went down it, but instead of going down, she just went off the side,
Oh,
nice.
like immediately off the side, and broke her collarbone. And apparently, that is mine and my brother's fault to this day.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
So
jury's out. I'd say maybe on that.
Sounds like Australia's funniest home videos.
pretty much, it was exactly like
submitted
that.
Yeah.
What about you, Jack?
I can't remember what age I would have been. Maybe because it involves my brother, and he would have been 1 or something. So maybe I would have been 5. But we're at a pool somewhere, and I think Mum or Dad said, "Oh, just make sure your brother doesn't like fall in or try and get in the water or anything." I'm like, yeah, it's all good. I got it covered. And then obviously they leave, and I just turn around immediately. And then I turn back, and I can't see him. And I lower my eyes, and I could just see him underwater. Just
Oh my god!
It's just is he still there?
his eyes were open. It's a 1-year-old just at the bottom of the
Like
pool,
a
just standing
statue
there. Yeah,
that's
just
sunk to the
standing there,
bottom
and
of the
I'm just
ocean.
going, oh.
How old was he?
He's probably 1 or 2, like very young.
floaties.
So I've gone like just trying to get him back up, but just that image of seeing him standing there, like yeah. So
That's so
was
funny.
pretty
There's
early
something
on,
about that, like as if they're almost sort of connected to the experience in the womb. You know what I mean? Like, apparently, if you put really young kids underwater, they just like
They know
don't.
to hold their breath.
Yeah, they know. They're just sort of in
Still
tune
got
with
gills from
They've still got their gills.
the gills. Yeah. I don't know how that baby stuff works, but whatever.
It sounds right. I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, a mummy and a daddy.
Okay. No more. I've never got past that point.
What did you guys? Speaking of mummy and daddies, what
Here we go.
what did you guys learn from your parents individually growing up? Like, and it could have been directly or indirectly. Just maybe it's hard work. Maybe it's a sense of humor. Was there something like that?
Well, I guess one from my dad would definitely be along the hard work lines. He's a chippy, so natural hard worker. But I was around there the other night, and we were talking about the tennis and how good Ash Barty was, and then the Kyrgios and Kokkinakis. And Dad was just saying, Kyrgios is a great player, but is that really necessary? All the other stuff, like he likes like giving it everything on court, but you don't need to humiliate anyone or the showmanship. So I guess because we played heaps of sport growing up, it was always be good and try to win, but just chill out.
Don't be a
show
showboater.
Yeah, don't show off. And like anyone who is good at something and doesn't let everyone else know about it, that's what gets his respect. So that's probably
Like that classic Aussie stoic
yeah, exactly.
background. Like my mum's
go.
family's got that. Yeah. What about you, Sam?
I think probably from my parents is just not take things too seriously. Like whenever something happens that's bad or serious, they'll try and sort of make jokes about it like pretty soon, like maybe even the day of, or like and I think also when we write a lot of skits, I do get it from my parents. I feel like they're not meaning to be funny, but they just do things that are funny. Like we wrote that one about watching movies, and they'll just continuously like ask questions. Like I haven't seen the movie either, and they'll ask me questions about the movie. And so I sort of just get like naturally funny things from parents, or they're just like, but they're also joke about it, and they take the piss out of me, and would try to take the piss out of them without offending them.
Yeah.
And getting into trouble. But yeah, that's probably it.
Are your parents easily offended?
No, they're actually not. Nah,
Yeah, I was going to say.
no, they're not.
They're our number one fans.
Yeah,
Like,
they are.
They are?
His
Yeah,
parents
I
are
would
our
say
number
that.
one
Are they
fans.
commenting on
Yeah,
posts?
Actually are.
Look out for Dad, Joey the dog.
Dad got TikTok.
Joey the dog?
Dad's got TikTok.
Yeah, just because of our videos, obviously, and just set the profile picture of a photo of our dog, and then just comments and everything. So
That is so funny. What you mentioned before, that is a uniquely Australian thing, is there's no sacred cows.
yeah,
so to
which
speak.
is good.
Anything can be taken the piss off.
Yeah.
I feel.
Mm.
What about you, Jack?
Yeah, probably. I mean, both of what was said resonates as well, but
No, you gotta
I'd
think of your
say
own one,
I was going to go
Something
obtuse,
new.
but I think the like being able to just have fun at any given moment is something that I felt like they were good at doing.
So, okay, you guys met in high school.
Yeah.
Individually, did you guys know what you wanted to do early on, or did it come through naturally as you were sort of getting to the latter part of high school?
In terms of career,
Yeah.
oh,
I mean, no, not at all.
Still don't know.
Still don't know. But like obviously we sort of went to uni, and that after school we all sort of knew we wanted to go to uni, but I don't know, we had no idea. Even we met in year 7, or I met these two in year 7, and they previously knew each other, but very
We're way better friends then. So.
yeah. I don't care anyway, but Yeah, literally had no. I think
But
even
like
up
we all
until
got, we all went to uni pretty immediately.
Yeah, I think.
I was more of the like I did science stuff, and that's what I thought I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then got to the end of that, and I played music my whole life, and I was like, oh, let's try and do music. So I did music.
Yeah.
And this sort of, I don't know if it was ever, I had
We didn't
never
plan
considered
to
it as
make-
like anything.
So were you guys living together when you sort of decided as a trio to do what,
not
what
when we
exists?
started.
No.
So Isaac and I lived together in the northern suburbs. of Melbourne.
We live together now, but
Yeah.
we all lived.
Yeah, we were all
fairly
separate when we
closely.
started, right?
Still at uni, still living at home when we first started. Only finished uni recently, so yeah.
Mm.
But we didn't
Interesting.
plan it. Like we were just like, I think first.
Just one, what was it? One day you like, fuck, we're gonna do this thing.
Well, not even. We just put up a video on TikTok that we filmed in Woolworths as a joke, and like, oh, we'll just name it Swag on the Beat. And then I think the first or second video went viral, and then
That
we even
one
left
did,
it
yeah.
for a while, and then we're like, oh, we'll have another go, like a month later,
Uh-huh.
and then
We-
a couple of videos went viral. I was like, oh, we can keep going with.
And who said we should do the video? Who was the first one that
I
you
reckon Isaac, maybe. I don't know.
I think I downloaded TikTok in Woolies. Downloaded the app because it was it was when there was no toilet paper. So
Oh,
I think
no
we were
shit,
looking
wow.
around, just going for a walk, trying to
let's see
be funny.
the no toilet paper.
Is
And
that so? It's that fresh.
Yeah, and then
2 years, I reckon.
I downloaded TikTok and we were thinking, okay, what's something
Yeah,
we
so-
can film?
Or
And we-
wouldn't it be funny if someone came up to you and said, like, saw you buying condoms, and like then you had an exchange, and
Yeah.
That's what the video.
I'll hold the
was.
camera up and film it.
and from
Right.
there,
Did they ever pull you guys up filming that video?
At
Who?
Woolies.
At
We
Woolies.
got kicked out that day. I
Really?
think.
No,
Yeah.
no, did we?
Yeah, we got kicked out.
we got politely moved on. I think.
Okay.
To the next aisle.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
think
yeah.
you get kicked
Yeah.
out. Woolies.
Oh, yeah. It was a.
Were we
you
doing
guys have to
anything
leave.
like?
We're yelling.
Were we?
Yeah, in a nice way.
Yeah.
They're probably thinking like, who are these three guys like
Exactly.
in this
Yeah.
aisle? What the
Yeah.
fuck are they up to?
17-year-old
get
on
that as well.
$15 an hour.
Okay, Swag on the Beat. Where's that come from?
That's a very good question.
Mm.
One
We actually-
which we can't really
don't
answer.
know.
I think I
We-
think
it's sort
I
of
used
something
to
we
say it.
yeah, we would
as a
say
joke.
like
We used to say it just like it honestly has no meaning. You know as much about it as we do. So
Yeah.
Okay,
We
but
said
what,
it as a
what was
joke.
the context of like? Were you guys saying like nice swag, or like?
kind
it would have meant good at
some
at its-
positive connotation. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, an extended
At its
good.
purest form, it means nice one, man.
Nice one.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
nice one, man.
With the quivering man.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think someone who watches your stuff needs to go make an Urban Dictionary entry.
In terms
Okay.
of the terms we use, in terms of the terms
The
we
inci-
use,
Just
in the video.
defining
Terms and
swag on the
conditions,
beat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we
nice.
should put that on.
Well,
Anyone can submit.
The
on it.
vernacular that we use off camera, you probably see 1% of it on the videos.
Mm.
We hold back a little bit. Yeah.
So we could do a whole series, but no one will get it because
Yeah,
we don't
just
talk
us.
about it on
Pretty
camera.
illegible. Subtitles.
Yeah.
out of the trio.
So okay, because some of your videos, there was one recently where you were talking about like. Actually, no, it wasn't recent. It was one of the ones that went viral because I saw when I was doing my research. It's interesting to see what comes up in Google, and someone had like taken one of your videos. I think it was the way that Aussies handshake.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? Video?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
In yep.
Someone had
remember that
taken that
exactly.
and like put it on Facebook or Watch or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, clearly
Dogs.
vernacular is like it's a common thread in the videos that you guys do.
Yeah, a lot of people ask in the comments, "What does this mean? What's the point of the video?" And I mean, so do we when we're
We don't
filming
know
it.
yet.
But like, yeah, there's also a lot of comments about subtitles. We do put subtitles in some of our videos, but we feel like sometimes
I think we use pretty basic Aussie vernacular in our
It
videos,
should
so
be accessible for
anyone
Aussies.
here is going to be pretty like across it. But
international.
between the three of us, when we talk off screen, it's pretty just rabble.
Yeah, I got
nonsense.
no idea what. Yeah.
What's the percentage of your audience that is not Australian? Like outside of the Australian audience, who else is watching it?
We've looked at it a few.
Mainly like the big countries of like America, UK, Canada.
I think we're
Bit
like
in Europe.
nearly 50% Aussie, and the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Significant American audience, really.
Yeah, we actually do.
It's always funny to see
Yeah.
Aussies that have blown up over a short period. And then obviously for you guys, it's not an issue because you've always been speaking on camera. But someone will maybe be known for like lip syncing or doing a POV type video with a lip sync. and then all of a sudden they do a video where they actually speak,
Hmm.
and the Americans are like, "Oh shit, they're Aussie."
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it
right.
blows their mind that like, us actors down here in Australia, this fake place,
We still have the internet and stuff.
you can do that.
Well, I think we
Essentially.
made a few videos, especially early on, and we still do, of the American Aussie and Jack plays the American.
That's right.
I remember early on we'd get a few comments saying after that, people go, "Oh, Jack actually is an American." And like when we made a few Australian videos after that,
Yeah.
or just normal videos.
Wait, so is he American or is he?
Yeah, which I
we
find
don't know.
hard to believe because the accent is very like turned up to beyond real. I would have thought, but anyway,
Like, what type of American accent are you trying to hit?
just broad, really. I think
Yeah.
if I went to South or New York or Cali,
Yeah.
It's
I
too
don't know.
extreme.
Well, yeah. I didn't want it to. I don't know. I didn't. There wasn't much thought, Jordan.
Don't want to alienate
Just-
a particular part of America,
Yeah,
We're attacking the whole thing.
didn't want to be statist.
Yeah, okay, interesting.
Sorry,
Is that a
Jake.
word? Is that a word?
Yeah, it is.
Okay,
now.
it could
Urban
be.
Dictionary.
I
Anything's
think
a
it's a
word
good
if
way
you
of
say it.
classifying.
On the Urban Dictionary.
Put it on the
Um,
swag dictionary. Yeah.
When did you guys realize you were funny?
Still haven't.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, ditto.
Up in the air, that one.
I think, I don't know. I think we
Oh, so you
realized.
think you're funny, do you?
Nah, sometimes. I think
Once
we
you
realized
stand
we
up then.
could make videos that were popular or went viral maybe, I don't know, after 3 months of filming. And we sort of, probably when we didn't just have to make Aussie American videos, like when we could make other,
Yeah, we're worried about being like categorized as, oh, you just do that.
and a couple other types of videos went viral as well. So that's probably when we realized we could like at least make videos that maybe other people thought were funny.
I think we always thought that each other were pretty funny because we always cracked
Yeah,
each other
we
up
joined
during
each
school.
other's companies for
But-
sure.
Yeah.
But no one else really thought we were funny because it was just rogue and nonsensical.
Very
odd, yeah.
So I think, we always knew each other were funny,
Yeah.
but we didn't really think that many people, that it would be palatable for the greater
The
audience.
first thing you said to me actually wasn't that funny because I remember this is another early
First
memory.
thing of
So
all
it's a bit of a
time.
tangent. First thing of all time,
Oh, what?
Isaac ever said to me, year 3, and we were the last 2 people standing on like the times tables challenge.
Okay.
First,
yeah,
like
fuck,
if you're
I
the
remember
last
this.
to like answer it, you sit down, and we're the last 2 standing. If anyone understands
Old
the
school
game,
game,
yeah.
anyway. And we're doing it, and I'm like, maybe I'm nervous or whatever. I'm like trimming nails, and you're like, you said you shouldn't do that. It's not good for you. It's a bad habit. And that obviously threw me. Then he won the game.
Tactics, man. It's getting inside your head.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in year 3, were you being like legit serious?
Oh,
Or
mate, I
was it-
do not remember that.
He was. I checked, and yes.
Yeah, right.
Check, double check.
Well, he doesn't bite his nails now, so you're welcome.
There you go.
They actually are long. Cheers.
Yeah. Do you guys have long nails or do you chew on them?
Well, I need them for work. I play guitar, so
I try and
need
keep
them.
him sane for guitar because it sounds a bit
Yeah.
better. as
I
well.
don't
Yeah.
play guitar, so
So yeah, it doesn't have
So he
nails.
bites the shit out of
yeah,
him.
I actually chew on my nails.
The- The crap out of them.
Sorry, he craps the shit out of him.
Craps the
we
shit
don't
out of
condone
him.
shit on the show.
I saw someone the other day. There was some guy and he had like his pinky nail was like
Ooh,
really.
we know what that's
yeah,
for.
The
Oh.
picking of the teeth.
Oh, that's
Okay.
already told you.
Wow.
Yeah. What's he got in his? What's
No
he-
one.
PG.
I don't
It's
think
a
anyone
family
heard
show.
that properly. It's
It's a
like you
family
know what
show.
that's for.
No, I didn't say that.
It's a family show.
Yeah, this is a family show, guys. This is
No, he just
PG.
plays guitar with that finger only, so that's why it's super long.
Okay, yeah, right.
Everyone at home, I was doing this. Oh, there.
Your camera.
So, one thing when I first met you guys, it sort of seems that there's a strong writing ethos there. You guys remind me a lot of my mates who run a studio called Stepmates, and that they knew each other sort of. Well, at least these guys knew each other at the end of high school. They started living together, and the way that it all came together was just sort of organic. So you guys made this video in Woolies. They made some video at home because they were bored with uni or something like that.
Respect.
And then actually it turned into an animation studio because the camera that they had, they lost it. Like as in they were at a show filming for some comedian. They put the camera on the top of the roof of their car,
Jeez.
drove out of the car park and they lost it and they had no money to buy it back.
Oh, ain't tomorrow.
So it sort of just spiraled out from there and they still live together. These
Jeez.
guys are 32.
Despite the camera incident.
Despite the camera incident, they've still got the studio together. I think it's a unique scenario because it gives them this position where they can just spitball on ideas at whim.
Mm.
Obviously, you got to give yourselves space, etc. and you guys are a bit younger than
1.5
them.
meters.
1.5 meters at all times, mask on.
Sorry, Jake. Jake, I feel like Jake needs a mic.
Yeah. He just because he's just sitting there snickering the whole time. That's So walk us through like your writing process. How does the process look for a skit? Do you guys just say every week or once a week you've got to sit down and like come up with a few new ideas, or someone says, I've got the idea, we're doing this week?
So we'll be together 2 to 3 days a week, and in our own time, we'll think of ideas, maybe just dot points or a little, 2 or 3 sentences of an idea, and then we'll come together with hopefully like 20 ideas, and then we'll pick the one we want, and then we'll sort of together as a group of 3, we'll all elaborate or go off what each other's said, have a bit of a discussion, sometimes even act it out and see what we can get from that. So just a dot point, come together, and then feed off each other.
So it's almost like a writer's room.
Yeah, it's fairly organic, like you were saying with the stepmates, how we sort of have spent enough time together that we're on the same wavelength the whole time. So if someone brings an idea to the table, we can just bounce off straight away, and all you need is the funny concept, and then the rest of the little sort of idiosyncrasies will come as we discuss it. But it's very... If someone has a funny idea and you bring it to the table, that between the 3 of you, that sort of creative fusion is going to bring something good.
You kind of know when something's funny.
Yeah.
Like, what's the best idea?
Yeah.
As a trio, you create the arc of what the video is. Concept can be like 2 words, and then we spend the brain power trying to create
bring it in.
whatever the
Iterate it
form
out.
will be. Yeah.
Do you guys have like a whiteboard back at home?
Yes,
we do.
I bought a whiteboard. It's like $10.
There's something. I don't know. I said this to Lauren the other day. Like, we need a whiteboard in here. She's like, "Oh, we've got limited space, so we're about to get another desk for another staff member." And I'm like, "But I don't know. Like,
get rid of the
something
desk.
nice about just being able to write on something."
it's good.
We're dreaming of one of those, the flippy ones where you got one on the other side as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like
but obviously
high
that's
school
way,
vibe.
That's like way down the line.
Yeah.
Way down the line.
I guess we live in a share house, and we can probably just write on the walls. So just paint over it. So I used
want
to do
my
that.
bond back.
Yeah, you kind of do want your bond back, don't you?
Yeah. Hopefully we get
art.
it back.
It counts as art.
Do you know what's funny is like Rory Lowe, who's on our roster, he had to go to 2 weeks of quarantine in Perth to go to the Fringe Fest. And so he was ideating a bunch of stuff on on like the sliding, sort of like this sliding door we've got here, but for your wardrobe. And it's like a mirror. And he's like, I've just used this whiteboard marker and I'll draw it. It was a permanent marker.
Nice, could not have seen that coming.
Yeah. With Rory, yeah, absolutely not. But it was funny because, like, when you look at it, it just looked like a crazy person.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It looked very, very
writing on the
Like
walls
him
is
or
just
the
crazy.
writing and stuff.
both the combo of the two.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys, you sit down, you spitball,
Stand up, actually.
stand up. You got the whiteboard, and then you decide how long does it take to film something, and like, are you banking material, filming like just on one day, banking stuff for a week, a month, whatever it may be?
I think, well, how long would it take to film a video? It depends on what it is, really. The recent one that we did, the rat one, the selling
it's like the drug dealing.
Yeah, that took a while. Just when you're
production.
running around and like having to hold it and sprint back with the person running and all that stuff, that takes a while. But some of them you can get done in 20 minutes if you're lucky.
Some 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
15 minutes as well.
Yeah, so you got the
Some
minute
40.
variation. Yeah.
Some 40, yeah.
yeah, so we'll try and film 2 or 3 videos in a day. It depends on the idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And but sometimes you do one and we go, no.
Mm-hmm.
And then you look at it a month later, you go, that's actually good. And then you put it up.
Yeah.
You guys film a lot of stuff outside, I've noticed. Like in your front yard, on the street. Like there was one where with the rat test, like you're pretending to be a cop. Do you get any weird glances?
Yes.
Many.
Also when we're not filming, but we definitely get people.
Mainly so, right?
We definitely get people when we are filming, people just stop and stare as well. Like they'll be walking their dog and they'll go, and we're like, well, we know, like we're doing weird stuff.
We were filming this video for when the pubs are reopened, and we were outside this pub that was closed, and some 30-year-old bloke was walking past, and he just comes up about a metre away from us and just stares at us, doesn't say anything, just watching it as we're filming it. Yeah, how's it going, mate? Doesn't say anything, he's staring.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it happens.
I mean,
freak.
yeah,
Is this like a a fan or just some random?
No, I
I'd say he was probably old. He was probably 40 plus, so I doubt he was a fan. I think he
Okay.
was just
Not
like,
old.
oh, what's going on here? I'm going to watch.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever had recognition in public?
yes.
Get a couple here and there.
What's that been like?
Mainly, everyone's pretty nice. Actually, people just come up and say, "Oh, I like your videos," and yeah, I don't know. It's never had a bad one.
I mean, it's all positive, like energy.
Yeah.
There's no like you're not getting yelled at like maybe a politician would or something like
Yeah.
that. Like we're pretty harmless
Fairly
Yeah.
people
non-abrasive.
in the semi-public eye.
Yeah.
And so if someone comes up, it's usually pretty positive. I think.
Also, we're just making TikTok, like we're just making videos, so it's not like we're a professional, like
Actual celebrities,
singers or
Yeah.
movie stars. So
And-
people just go, "Oh, I like your videos." Yeah, sweet, thanks. That's awesome.
There is no doubt though that when you speak to any talent on TikTok, Instagram in Australia, and you have a significant following, 50% of your audience, you said before, if you got 200,000 plus people that are following you, it's a decent amount of people that know you. I've seen it for like some of the talent we have in Sydney. Like it must be unusual, I think, for them. With how quickly this has all come about. Like you guys started off with TikTok in 2020, right?
Yeah,
2 years ago.
Yeah.
Not even. Do you remember when was the Woolies piece recorded? Was it like before COVID really kicked off here, or
it was
later in the year?
very early days. COVID, March.
March-ish.
April, I think it was.
Okay, yeah.
Interesting. So when it comes to like comedic principles, do you guys have anything around that, or do you just with this process go, okay, that's funny, that's not funny, or are you looking at things like in a very meta structural way? Like, how do you view this sort of stuff?
There's definitely certain videos that we have a structure that we do that we think works, but then there's also videos because we don't always want to do the same thing. So we'll just videos where there's just a wordplay or hopefully punchline and it's 15 seconds, and the other videos will be a full minute with a chase in it or some exciting high energy stuff. So we don't want to always just do the same. That comes with like the type of video, just Australian, American, or dub. We don't always want to do the same thing, and we don't just want to be known for that.
Yeah.
But we do follow a bit of a structure, but also we will write out stuff, and then in the moment we'll change it as we're filming. We'll be like, "Oh, this is funny. Maybe we leave out this part." Or
Yeah.
same with-
Interesting.
yeah, Isaac.
So for you guys, like when you see yourselves as a group, who are the other groups that exist in the comedy sphere, whether locally, internationally, it doesn't really matter. But who's the stuff that like is populated to the top of your feed, or when you see them put out a new piece of content, you're shooting it off to each other and be like, "Fuck, did you see this thing that they put out?"
I like Will Gibb. He's funny.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Interesting. Any groups?
The Simpsons, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know.
They resonate with Bart.
I don't know.
Like new creators are.
Monty Python. they're
Yeah, we
fairly-
sort of like
fairly new.
we like old. I would watch old stuff more. So
yeah,
Really?
I guess I like
I'm
Key
not-
and Peele
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
yeah, they're
Okay.
good.
Key and Peele,
Yeah, they're
Monty
great.
Python.
Gervais, obviously.
Yeah.
John Cleese,
We love a lot of the stand-up as well.
Jerry
obviously. A lot
Seinfeld.
of stand-up comedians.
Steve Hughes,
Okay.
Steve Hughes, Carl
is
Barron, Aussie
the
classics.
top of the list for me.
Luke McGregor.
Australian guy.
Aaron
Okay.
Chang.
Luke McGregor. Yeah.
He's a funny man.
And you go back to the two Ronnies, even you're like they're great.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Um,
Hamish and Andy, Leno and Woodley.
yeah, those guys.
all that sort of
yeah.
golden era of Australian comedy.
Try to draw inspiration from them.
If you guys had to make like a Franken comedian, who would you pick
How many?
and put together?
How many do we have?
Oh, you got a cap.
Oh,
of
one each.
3,
Do we have to
4.
do like the
Pick-
satire of someone and the wit of someone, or
Yeah,
can we
you
just
can-
like
you can-
amalgamate three people?
You can amalgamate 3.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, we've got to go Steve Hughes.
Steve Hughes, yes.
The quality of his humor and
Yeah.
intelligence.
His
unmatched.
intelligence is
I think Luke McGregor's
Luke
the
McGregor's-
awkwardness,
yeah,
the
awkwardness.
awkwardness, and the
Who's gonna?
Ricky Gervais for Isaac.
Or mate,
Yeah.
we've gone to all Aussie. I think we have to
I think
round it out
Aussie.
with an Aussie.
Steve
Oh,
Hughes.
Chris
you
Lilly.
could. You could.
Chris Lilly.
Okay.
Yeah, we love
Lilly.
Chris Lilly as well.
I was just on Gervais. I was just populated onto my YouTube feed earlier, and I'm like watching some fucking like 10 best bits of Ricky. It's just like clips of Ricky Gervais, and the guy just doesn't care.
Yeah, I know.
That's
it
the thing
works.
about his
He's
comedy
decaf.
is that like
Yeah.
he just objectively does not care about what people think about
Yeah,
him.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it works for him, and people love it. But I think also I watched an interview with him and Jerry Seinfeld and maybe Kevin Hart was a few others, and like he's just like, yeah, I don't care, and they were like, well, you can do that.
I know what you're talking about, talking shit.
Yeah, that one,
Yeah.
and they were like, well, you can do that when you're worth $250 million, it's like you don't have to care about much because obviously I think he made $200 million off The Office, so
Did he really?
something ridiculously like that. So they're like, well, you can just say whatever you want if you.
Well,
Well,
get
the
much
thing
money.
about you are right. You're hitting on something. Like Ricky Gervais, what he has over those guys is he didn't make it per se until he was like 40.
Yeah,
Like The Office, he filmed when he was like 40 or something.
yeah,
Correct. Yeah.
Before that, he was in a band.
Mm.
You can see video. So he was on Graham
Norton.
Norton's show, and there's clips of him like in this sort of punky
Yeah.
goth type band. He's
Really?
just like,
Shauna Dancing.
dude, it's bizarre.
I didn't know that.
Is the
And
name.
he was a good looking dude.
He
at
looked,
like
he's
20.
like David Bowie kind of
Really?
very
glam
David
rock
Bowie
vibe.
esque. Like
Yeah,
Is it good
post-punk.
music?
it was okay.
It's okay. It's kind of like what would you say, like New Order, Stone Roses-y vibe.
Oh,
Exactly, like New
Yeah.
Order plus a bit of punk.
Yeah,
Like he was wearing like a suit and like maybe he had a few fingernails painted black and
yeah,
or he
Very
might have
edgy
been
for the
wearing
time.
like eyeliner. You know, it
yeah,
was, but it was very
nice.
synth.
Yeah, nice.
Just very 80s, I would say.
yeah.
Did he always do stand up, or was it something that came about after The Office?
I don't actually know. I remember looking at his Wikipedia, and I'm pretty sure he predominantly. So he did music, and basically the band that we were talking about before, they didn't do well, or
Yeah.
like the band broke up or something. And I think he flipped into acting,
Mm.
and it was like maybe 6 or 9 months into doing it that The Office came around.
No, that's
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah. So I don't know whether I'm not sure about the stand-up component. Maybe he was just started doing that at the same time, and that sort of amalgamated into it.
Mm.
Have you guys individually considered stand-up? I feel like maybe I feel like Anthony's seen you,
Oh yeah,
Young Limousine. Anthony,
Yeah,
Nago.
I was with him last week at Bobby Peel's. We did
That's
stand up.
it,
He
Bobby
he went
Peel's.
before me, and then I went. Yeah, but I met him for the first time last week. He's awesome.
How'd
Good
he
bloke.
go? Is he good?
Yeah, he was good. He's
Nice.
tried new material and he did really well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
How'd you go?
yeah, I did okay. Did alright.
No,
He said you did good.
Did he?
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
so
chatting to
especially-
him yesterday. We had
Yeah,
a strategy meeting. He said you were there. I think maybe Blake was there.
yeah. Blake killed it.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Not
Blake Pavey.
what's his last name? The other
The other Hugh Robertson.
Hugh Robertson.
Hamish
yeah.
Blake.
Yeah.
Blake was Blake there? Blake Pavey?
I don't
No.
know.
I
couldn't
would have
tell
seen
you.
him. But yeah, Hugh Robertson killed it. He was good.
He's really, really good.
Yeah, he's been doing it for 5 years.
The interesting thing about the stand-up scene here, so I reckon the stand-up scene in Sydney is better than Melbourne right now. Young
In Sydney.
talent,
Even
Yeah.
though Sam's in the Melbourne.
100%.
I've done
Wow.
stand up twice, so yeah, that's fair.
But like objectively, I can't name the best up and coming young stand-up talent from Melbourne is probably Ruben Solo,
yeah,
and
he's
then
good.
you've got like a layer down, like because I
Mm.
would say someone like Luke Kidgel is established.
yeah,
Yeah.
But then the next layer down is guys like yourself doing regular, like
Mm.
open mic nights,
yeah,
like Anthony, Blake, Hugh, yourself. But the interesting thing is, like, they've shown me clips of these stand up nights, or I've seen, like, I saw one at like Rubber Chicken. I'm like,
Mm.
you guys who have audiences objectively do better than the other people there.
yeah.
It's very interesting
Oh, it's
because it's
interesting.
almost like you've tested it through doing online and proved that you can be funny first.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder to do well in stand up than I
yeah.
think online.
For sure.
But there's a lot of people who just go there and they're just like, "Oh yeah, I've got purple hair and this is funny." Like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
there was a lot of that at Rubber Chicken.
yeah.
Stupid venue name.
The open mics are hard. Like it's
Yeah,
definitely a
props for
mix
having a
of
crack,
people,
though.
but
yeah, it takes balls. to do that.
yeah. I was very nervous, but yeah, I've heard people say as well that in Sydney the crowds are a little bit easier, and in Melbourne they're not, maybe because of the quality of people.
I think because they're
Quality
used
is-
to the quality here.
yeah,
The quality.
the quality.
People are used to like the Comedy Store or the Lounge in North Melbourne. I
Yeah.
mean, if you look at who's performing there, you got Dave Norton, Hughesy.
Mm.
Like they're doing regular
Yeah.
open mic spots. How do you
Mm.
compete with that?
Mm.
You kind of can't.
Yeah.
So, and that's why I think as well, because Sydney didn't have that generation of talent, because the young guys are coming through, that you can get a lot of really good stuff. And there's like 4 or 5 different nights. Tuesday to Saturday, there's some sort of open mic, semi-pro night that's on, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
But just on the talking shit doco with like Ricky Gervais and all that,
Yeah.
have you guys watched anything in the last couple of years that really, stood out to you? Like specials or anything like that?
Talking about comedy as opposed to comedy in
Could be talking about
Itself.
comedy or it could be comedy itself. Like
My-
I really like Bo Burnham's Inside. Like I thought that was really
Okay.
well done.
I think that there was it recently came onto YouTube, but it's an interview that Barry Humphries did as Les Patterson in 1985 on the Michael Parkinson show.
Mm.
And that is a clinic in comedy, I think.
Yeah, right.
8 minutes of just everything he says is perfect. I
So
think.
whose show was it on?
Michael Parkinson,
Michael Parkinson.
the English,
Parko.
like old school,
Yeah.
like talk show guy.
And he's pretending to be that Les. He's sort of like
the cultural attaché character.
right.
Yeah.
I always thought that character is sort of like him taking the piss out of like Rupert Murdoch type individual. Is that right?
Yeah, the conservative Australian.
Conservative, like he owns the media.
Yeah.
Type individual.
It's gold.
Yeah.
As for me, I guess.
Sam.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember in terms of. I listen to a few podcasts with just interviewing comedians, like one listening to Jimmy Carr, and I've also reading Jerry Seinfeld's book.
Okay.
But a lot of it's just jokes, but it's interesting. Like I listen to them on podcasts, a lot of the stand-up comedians, and almost all of them just completely fail and like bomb their sets when they start off, or even a few years in, which is interesting.
Like when they're doing stand up.
Yeah, when they're doing stand-up, and they
Pretty standard.
yeah, and like they're like you won't get good even till like for like 5 years. Like it's pretty harsh.
Yeah.
To try.
It's very hard. I remember Anthony said to me, he's like, I need just a year of doing like 5 nights a week
Yeah.
on open mic.
It's hardcore.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was like, I think he's saying to me, he's like, oh, I'm going to try just go up there with little preparation and practice just trying to think of things on the spot. I'm
Like crowd
oh,
work.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't
brutal.
reckon I have the balls to do that. I'd have to be prepared and still not confident. But yeah.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
What about you, Isaac? Is there anything in the last 2 years during these fabulous lockdowns that you've really watched and has sort of ingrained something on you comedy wise?
The only thing I can think of would be not much of a special per se, but Aaron Chen's stand-up gig that we went to at the Forum.
Oh, yeah.
That one was hilarious.
That was very good.
And that's probably the funniest thing I've seen in the last couple
What
of years.
was that for comedy? Because Comedy Fest last year was cancelled.
I think it was just a gig.
It was
of
just his own show. Maybe
Just
I don't know
his
if it
own-
was part of the Comedy Fest or it was just his own show.
own
Yeah, it was-
tour.
yeah.
But we just went and saw him for an hour, so it was pretty much just him.
Wow.
But he was awesome.
It was hilarious.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, he killed it.
Yeah,
Full House.
he is a fucking brilliant comedian.
Yeah,
by the
he's
way.
so funny.
He reminds me of like what's his name? Who's killed it in the US, but he got into movies. Although he's not actually Aussie. Ronnie Cheng
Oh,
was actually Malaysian,
Oh, was he?
I believe, and then moved here. Did really well,
Yeah.
really quick. Like
Yeah.
him and Nazim Hussein,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
came
when
out of
they-
nowhere, and
yeah.
then he moved to LA and he fucking killed it.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
Good on you.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
good.
did you guys know he's been in like Crazy Rich Asians and
Oh, was
all
he
these
in that?
huge fucking films?
Is he the guy that has the Netflix special, the hour-long thing?
Yeah,
Ronnie
you'd
Cheng?
recognize him.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
He's
definitely.
really like a bombastic sort of like
Yeah, pretty
fuck
boisterous.
you kind of guy.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. I
he's
know him. Yeah, I've seen him
very
do stand
direct,
up.
always in suits.
Yeah, yeah. I know
Yeah.
him. Yeah, he's big.
Classy.
He's
He's
massive.
huge. Yeah,
Yeah, he sort of came out of. I feel like Aaron's got that potential as
yeah,
well.
yeah.
There's another guy that I saw recently. I was talking to someone about, and the dude is unreal. And we were trying to. Anthony and I were debating it, but his whole thing is that he's autistic, right?
Mm.
And so he's a. Do you know the one?
Sam Campbell
That's the one.
Yeah,
He
he's
was
awesome.
on the 100
was he?
with Andy Lee
Yeah.
Oh,
recently.
yeah,
Mhm.
he's awesome. I love
And
Sam Campbell.
we were like, this guy is so funny. We're trying to think, like, is it part of an act or is he legit autistic? Like, almost like he was like faking it. Do you know what I mean?
I think he is, but he would play it up. Like I
I
reckon
think he
could-
plays it up.
Yeah,
But he, to me, is another one that like you could see him going international very quickly.
Yeah, he's awesome.
fantastic.
yeah.
He's
I
fantastic.
like his style of humor. It's a bit weirder.
It's just weird.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought a lot of people would like that humor, but he seems to have
People
it.
love it. The
he-
gala,
Yeah, he was at the gala.
kills it.
He was killed it at Melbourne Comedy Fest. I think. Yeah, the gala.
That's actually an interesting one. Like, do you guys think? So I had this conversation the other day with I noticed you guys commenting on this stuff a lot. Josh Garlop and those boys,
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
Giorgio, all that.
Yeah, they. Good.
So we spoke about something that Jenny Tian mentioned to me. She's like, comedy is either a yarn or an observation, and it can also be literal or like what was the word, like exaggerated, I think was the word.
Yeah.
So you can do an observation and then you can make it really ridiculous, or you can just like be very literal, like a Sam Campbell, and like you realize how bizarre the situation is.
Yeah.
Or like you get like and it's the way you deliver it as well. Like you get that guy Dimitri, is it Dimitri Martin, the one who plays the guitar, and he's like,
sure.
"Have you ever thought about how weird it is that guys say hello, ladies?" Like,
Okay.
like that's his way of delivering
Yeah,
it,
the
and you start to
delivery is the
realize
funny
like,
part,
oh
yeah.
fuck, that's fucking weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then you've got like an Auntie Donna who is like, they just take it and they just throw
Absurd to the
shit.
max.
Yeah.
Absurd. What's
Yeah.
that? What is it?
Absurd.
Absurdist. I
Absurd
think.
comedy,
sort
yeah.
of humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love Auntie
They're
Donna as
great.
well.
Yeah.
Where do you guys see yourselves fitting? Do you prefer an observation or a yarn, and do you prefer being literal or being like ridiculous, or do you're not really wedded to?
I think we
Any.
like a mix. So a lot of the time we will have a relatable concept that people can be drawn to, and then we will push that to an absurd level. And I also think personally with like comedy, I think I like the surprise, so the unexpected. Even in stand-up skit, like I think that's one of the main parts of a skit or stand-up or a joke is that seeing the unexpected and it hits you in the face. Like, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen.
Right, like
I
the
think that-
punchline is
yeah.
unexpected.
Yeah, some people like. I find observational comedy really difficult, but like people who can do it well, like, elite.
Yeah.
Like
It's actually, you're right. It's actually hard,
Mm.
exceptionally hard to do.
Yeah.
Like Neil Cole Hackard does a lot of that stuff. He had one bit, it was called Modern Education, but like that is one of 10 that has really hit,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. It's a really hard, it's a really hard format to deliver on, I think.
Yeah,
It's
for
really
sure.
hard. I could talk about comedy for fucking ages.
Yeah, it's great.
Totally.
What'd be great is I'd love to do an episode where you just sit here and watch like a special and do like a
That
fucking
would be
Yeah.
director's cut type.
Yes. I
Colour
would love that.
reaction.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Just on that quickly, is there anything you reckon I should be watching at the moment that you guys have watched in the last week?
In the last week.
I was asking the talent group this the other night. Got a lot of Euphoria.
I've watched that.
Succession came up. I've already seen it.
Yeah.
Watched Ozark.
Ozark season 4. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Oh mate, part 2.
I
Oh,
haven't watched that yet.
Yeah.
But I'll get on it.
anything that stands out?
I'm not good with TV shows or voice breaks, but thanks, Jake.
See what I mean? He just snickers the whole
Still
time.
going for
Turn it
puberty.
on.
He's going for puberty.
Yeah, I've just been watching World War II documentaries.
Oh,
I'm serious.
I'll cut that out.
Yeah.
I'm a massive like World War II history buff. I find it fascinating.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I've been rewatching Kath and Kim,
Okay, nice.
which I'm sure you've all seen. It's
Heard of it?
Someone said to me the other day, like you've kind of got to watch it like a good 3 times because there's a lot of stuff that goes.
You keep
over your
picking
head.
up new stuff. That show is hilarious. Just the delivery and the puns in that show is unreal. I reckon.
I
And
was
it's in Melbourne. So.
Yeah, I was 15 when I first watched it,
Mm.
and there's so many venues and places that you recognize.
Mhm.
Like I remember there's like a wedding scene, or they're like on a honeymoon,
Mm.
and the place they go on honeymoon is like this drive-in motel on the Pean Highway. It's
So
the red
good.
brick one that anyone who lives in like the southeastern suburbs would recognize the place. I actually know, now that I think about it, it may have been knocked down and sold to like a property developer or
Oh,
something.
jeez.
Capitalism, eh?
Okay, obviously you've got the channel or the profile, let's call it. What are you guys thinking about this year in particular? You know, because there's
Yeah.
clearly a lot of writing and brainstorming that goes on. Where do you want to go with this year?
Well, late last year we interviewed a few musicians, Aussie musicians,
Okay,
because we all play music as well.
you're right.
But it was
I try to.
no, you do.
Okay.
Sam was the DJ at high school.
Okay,
He would
Step back,
DJ
Sammy
every
Z.
single 18th. DJ
Really
Sammy Z. Look it up,
snap back
SoundCloud. Cheers.
how much did you charge?
Money
Not
can't buy.
enough.
Can't buy.
Not
it.
enough, mate.
30 grand. Nah, I think like
Priceless.
$100 and a couple of Diet Cokes.
Okay.
That would do me.
Nice.
No
Yeah,
sugar.
Diet Coke, you're right.
Yeah,
Um,
but the point of it was to, we've got like leverage our platform to sort of give these musos that haven't otherwise been able to find their audience a little bit of like, this is what I've been doing over lockdown. This is what this is the projects I'm working on, and then we just chat and muck around kind of thing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And is it like a going to be a YouTube show, or is it a YouTube show? Or
Yeah, it's coming out on YouTube probably pretty soon.
Yeah,
but
pretty soon,
it's going to help launch our YouTube, and we'll probably do a few things on our YouTube. But that'll be the main one for a while. Bit of an
Okay.
interview show.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever thought about not TV shows, but doing your own? Do you see this as like a regular thing, like a podcast, or sort of like a series?
It's kind of like on a whim, like thinking of things we might be able to do to help the suffering industry and also like help the YouTube take off or like get started. But there was no long-term thought about it. It was just thought, that could be fun.
See if it works and keep going.
See if people like it. I think we're
Yeah.
hoping people will like, because it's obviously a different angle from
It's
our
not.
normal
It's not the
skits.
skit stuff. It's
like
different,
it's
you know,
like an
so-
interview, and there is some like light-hearted stuff, and we ask them some funny questions, or like it's not all just serious. There's a few jokes in there, but it is very different to skits.
Yeah, very
What
different.
It's an actual interview show, but yeah,
It's conversation just like this. But that's sort of what you want to do as creators, right? You want to be able to move to other platforms.
yeah,
Totally.
Not just be known as like the TikTok guy.
yeah.
When you say that you're all musicians, like, are you guys in a band as well, or
Jack is.
so you're in a band?
Yeah, I play in a band.
Yeah.
But we've played together for
Yeah,
ages.
Yeah, for a couple. Yeah, we
Yeah.
used to play in a band back in the day, but
Yeah.
it was the best band of all time, and then we broke up. So
Yeah, yeah.
thanks for bringing it up. But
Yeah.
no, we jam all the time. But
Yeah,
Jack plays in a gypsy jazz band, which is
Oh, I was
far
gonna-
too intricate for the remainder of the group.
yeah.
That is very gypsy jazz.
And
Yeah,
what you haven't heard
minutiae.
of.
No,
It's like
I was going to say, are you in the Wiggles?
because of the
Skivvy.
it's like French sound. If you heard it, you go, "Oh, that sounds French."
Okay.
It's like Django Reinhardt is the sort of main exponent of the genre.
What?
you know
So is it? Do you play like a brass instrument, or do you play
Guitar,
Guitar. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Brass guitar.
Brass guitar.
very expensive.
Can you imagine that? If there was a brass guitar, that'd be
Yeah.
fascinating.
There's got to be one out there.
Or like, and instead of the strings, like it's keys, like on a saxophone.
Oh, okay.
That kind
So
of
how-
be cool.
Yeah.
We'll make this. I reckon we'll make it work.
Fender have already done it.
Oh, have they?
They've heard it this already in their in
Yeah.
production.
No, I that's. I don't know about you, but that sort of music, there's something about jazz or the sound that comes from those instruments, which is like very appealing to me, at least.
Mm.
Like maybe it's because I played saxophone in high school, pretty much from year 7.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Up
Did you bring
unt-
it here? Have you got?
No. Do you know
Oh.
I actually sold it like 2 years ago?
Oh,
Damn,
So I don't really play anymore.
we should have bought it.
I just sort of stopped playing after high school. So I don't know. There was sort of no point in it. But then there was, there was a wave of more jazz-based instruments into electronic, because I'd always liked electronic music. But yeah, I sold it.
Gotta get it
Which was a
back.
bummer.
Surely
Always
when
get
you
back
watch
into it. Use the money you sold to
Yeah,
buy a
when you
guitar.
watch
Yeah, I
that
should.
that video of those two dudes on the train where one of them's playing
Oh,
sax
it's
and the other
fucking
one rips
brilliant.
out, that must make you want to get it back again. surely.
Absolutely. There's another scene of like a known DJ. It's not Dead Mouse, but it's a DJ who integrates like a lot of jazz samples. And
Skrillex.
Was it Timmy Trumpet? No.
So he's got that in his name, therefore it must be jazz.
Melbourne Bounce.
No,
Melbourne
mate,
Bounce.
no.
Nah,
That's good. That's a good gag. Even if you didn't mean it. No, there was
meant that joke.
there's a guy, and it was a trending sound on Instagram just before like TikTok really became a thing. And the reason it became known is there was this guy, I think they're in Hong Kong or maybe they're in Japan, and so there's a sort of, not the chorus, but there's a bridge where like the sax is everything. And this guy just rocks up to this event, which is in a club, brings the saxophone and
I've seen that.
pretends.
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah, that's
And he pretends to play this thing like this.
yeah.
And it's still, I can't remember the name of it, but like if you type in,
And that was you.
that was me.
Wow, crazy.
then you
If you
sold
type
it.
in like Jazzman Japanese Club, you
nice.
find it.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's just something amazing
It was
about it.
very cool.
So
Japanese jazz is amazing.
it is very specific, right?
Honestly, there's many Japanese jazz artists.
The
on
funniest thing is
Spotify.
Jacob would know, because Jacob is, he's not a jazz man, but if there's something he knows, it's about Japan.
He's a sound guy, so
Japanese.
music
Oh,
is sound.
Japaphile.
So.
yeah.
Japaphile.
He's a Japanophile.
Oh, nice.
He's a good weed man. He knows his
Origato
knows his shit.
gozaimasu.
I think we rocked up earlier.
tell
And
I'm not
Jacob
native?
was watching some Japanese cartoon. I'm like,
Pokemon.
Grammar expert. There you go.
Oh, no.
okay.
He knows his shit.
Nice. Do you
That's
speak
cool.
Japanese?
Oh,
Impressive.
Just a
what
little
did I
bit.
just say? Yeah.
He's probably like fluent. We just don't know it.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Okay, project wise, there's nothing else that you guys have going on. Like, have you thought about writing maybe your own little web series or special? I guess that sort of would integrate into what you maybe eventually do with the YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's sort of the idea with getting the YouTube off the ground. Hopefully lead into some longer form skits, and then the sort of the landscape opens up a bit more opportunity for more complex scenes and camera angles and character development and stuff like that. So that's probably on the cards.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we're sort of getting the wheels in motion for our own podcast as well. So
Yeah.
Nice.
that's in very early stages. at the
Early
moment.
days, but yeah, we're definitely
So it's coming
we're
out
working
tomorrow.
on it.
We've just got our phones recording this one, and
Yeah,
this is going
right.
to be our first episode.
I like it.
But yeah.
Hey man, that would be great if this was your first episode. What do you think's like the highlight and the low light of doing what you guys do? Like, what sucks about it, and what's fucking cool about it that you can't put a price on?
Oh, geez. There are moments when I'm sure each of us have, when we're doing something stupid in front of a camera, and you go, "I went to uni for how long?"
Yeah.
And you
I've
could
got
have
how
gone
much
down
hex?
the
Yeah.
well trodden path, but we
I had
have
that
elected
the other
otherwise.
day. We filmed a video of just me in
Oh,
cowboy boots and budgie smugglers,
Okay.
lying on a couch. But
It's coming
yeah,
out soon. It's very funny.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's coming out soon. But I had that. I was like,
I didn't have a problem with it.
yeah, you
I
guys
think
are
don't
fine.
think Jack did.
That's
Yeah,
fine, yeah.
I was
That's
just like,
fine,
what?
yeah.
My family's gonna see this, and nah, it's fine though. It's not a big deal.
I mean, that's sort of you got the counter of that as well. With we get to
Yeah.
muck around and make videos and be stupid together. So
Oh,
you're
it's
happy to
definitely-
cop looking like an idiot.
Definitely worth it.
In public sometimes because we get to act like idiots all the time. Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
most of the time, and get to do that for a couple of days a week, which is very lucky.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that. There's times though when you're in this business, anything in the creative business, and you have those like lull moments where you're
Yeah.
just like,
Mhm.
For me, the feeling of conceiving of an idea and then getting it to the final product, and the feeling of like we created that from nothing is pretty cool. I think.
yeah, that's probably
That's
That
brilliant.
didn't exist before we thought about it.
Mm.
Is a nice like sort of aspect of
Yeah.
I like
doing this.
flicking through our videos, and there's so many different ideas that have been solely conceived by us, as opposed to maybe if we sort of had the same sort of themes that carried through, or if we were only making videos on topical things, but we just sit down and hash out a random idea. So it's cool going back and seeing how many different like ridiculous ideas we've been able to make into something hopefully a little bit funny.
yeah. And if you look at it, like you guys are essentially doing the amount of views that a TV show would do right now.
Yeah, which is
I
pretty
don't think
crazy.
a lot of people realize that.
Yeah, it is.
Like
pretty
when
crazy.
Stepmates published their show with Channel 7, they were like, dude, we nearly get more numbers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And like there's distribution with this.
Yeah.
And
The
theirs
nature
is
of
purely
social
organic.
media today, eh?
Pardon?
And the social media. And
Yeah. And people would argue,
Crazy.
oh, well, the views on TV are worth more. They maybe. I don't know.
Who knows?
As a professional in the industry, do you feel like there'll be a complete swap over to that media form, or like how do you think it'll look the next 5-10
Well,
years?
it's an interesting point because we had this conversation the other day with a brand, and I was debating on what talent is.
Yeah.
His argument was that talent is people that are sort of like TV, theatre, movies, etc. And I'm like, no, talent's like ubiquitous now. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter what platform you're on. If you're talented, you get eyeballs. If
Mm.
the threshold is 100,000 views, downloads, whatever it may be, that's fucking talent. Like people recognize that. Otherwise, why would they watch it,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, true.
And so he was like, I don't know. Let's agree to disagree or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it's sort of already happening.
Yep.
Just in different mediums. Like in the audio space, I think now the two dominant networks are
GarageBand.
Spotify and
Oh, sorry. Go on.
GarageBand too. No, Acast and Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they've well and truly overtaken SCA and ARN. I think while they have the preeminent breakfast and drive talent right now, I think they've completely left our generation, like millennials,
Mm.
Gen Z, etc. I think they've just not put in any of the dollars required to do the development work, and also because people can come and go, I think they're going to be in a real struggle. So if they're competing against a Spotify who says, look, we'll pay you double what an SCA or ARM would, but you've just got to stay with us for X amount of time. I just don't know how. And knowing that those holding companies have got like $200 million in debt, that is a channel where I go, I don't know how radio can be here in 10 years.
Yeah.
Like it can
That's
for
interesting.
news and sport, there's no
Yeah.
doubt. Like an SCN Croc Media type business would exist.
Yeah.
But would the amount of FM channels that we currently have
Yeah.
exist? I don't know.
Yeah.
So in that channel, for sure, I reckon in maybe 2 to 3 years, we'll probably see a similar movement in SVOD digital streaming type services, because like Netflix made the segment or the channel, but I think it took having Paramount, Amazon, Stan, even like Channel 7 sort of getting into it in a little bit. I think you need multiple bidders to make it to the point that, you know, you can make a lot, like a lot of money for a lot of people on that channel. So to answer your question, I think we're probably a couple more years away for it to be at the top pinnacle, so to speak. Because, you know, Netflix, what are you were saying before about Ozark? Who's Ozark got on it? Like all the actors that you'd expect. But like 5 years ago, did we expect that Hollywood actors would be in a Netflix series? Probably not.
No, we didn't.
Like most were TV shows.
Yeah.
And now it's like full on HBO shot style series, movies, etc. So I think it's just a natural progression. I think when it happens, it hits people sooner than they realize. The good thing about us as a group, this new wave and generation, I think because we're used to the fact that people don't take us seriously, when it happens, it's kind of like you're just not blown away, but you're like kind of shocked.
Yeah.
In a way, I found that with the Spotify show that we've worked on, that the talent were just like, wow, like this is happening. So it can go from when is this eventually going to happen to bang. It's like this is real life right now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Because it's interesting that transition from mainstream to social, and like we were on it. We did a quick interview on mainstream media in the last week, and it was mentioned like the stigma that's still attached with talent coming through social media. Do you think people from that pipeline will eventually be considered as equals to people that have gone up the traditional way? Or
I think so. I think look, it depends when you say, because mainstream media is an interesting one, because the way people connotate mainstream, really what they're saying is old media and new media. Like, love him or hate him, Joe Rogan will get 11 million views on an episode, and he's on a closed platform too, by the way. And then you compare that with a talk show on CNN, Fox, whatever it may be, they'll be lucky if, like, Tucker Carlson's the biggest conservative guy on Fox. He's lucky if he gets.
okay,
CNN is Don Lemon, like the biggest guy right now. He's lucky if he gets 3 or 4 million. So
jeez,
I think it's kind of already here. It's just I believe that we've already made it. Yes, you go do interviews and people will engage you and act like it's sort of like a children's playground still. You see like your 60 Minutes. You can see it in little things like your 60 Minutes of the World or like a Current Affair or these sort of news-related shows, because they're still the pinnacle in that segment. But in my opinion, it's already here. I just think people need to take themselves a bit more seriously.
Yeah.
And part of that is like the commercialization of the space as well, like businesses like ours entering into it and reminding talent that, like, no, you're actually worth this much. You know, the guest who's Danny Webber, we published our episode the other day, we're talking about it off air. It's not fucking, you know, we'll work with you and we'll give you all this exposure. Like, fuck off. Like, we are the exposure.
Yeah.
yeah,
Fair.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
That's the way I see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
So,
It's good.
but that doesn't mean that we still don't get those questions and people who see it for like, oh, it's these little children on these app and stuff like that.
Well, if it continues the way that you were saying, and in 5-10 years, social media is continuing to overtake old or mainstream media, then like social media will be the mainstream media.
Yeah,
Like,
I think it just is the media now.
Yeah.
Like, where do you guys find your news or information from these days?
Yeah, we don't have an aerial at our house, so definitely not TV.
Yeah, it's not.
On
It's
the
not the
phone.
new. It's not the 6 o'clock news. It's like someone sharing a story or Twitter or YouTube or like you jump on news or a Fairfax publication or whatever your flavor is, the Guardian, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Batuta Advocate, the Chaser.
Batuta?
That's where we get all our
Honestly,
news from.
I get a lot of my fucking news from the Batuta.
Literally, yeah.
It's amazing how much is like you can perceive through the sarcasm that they publish.
Yeah.
It's quite amazing.
It's underlying satire when really most of it is just the truth.
Yeah.
It is. A lot of it is the truth. What I like about them as well is how they'll take both sides apart, because I'm like firmly down the middle. And I like how they take both sides.
Yeah.
So you can get very much like opposing posts half an hour after each other, which I always find really, really
good.
funny.
Yeah, they do well
And it's
with that.
interesting to see if your friends who'd like the posts as well.
Yeah. There's enough satire on both sides
Yeah.
that they can stay in the middle.
Exactly. Just before we get into rapid fire questions, just on social media, what pisses you guys off when you're scrolling, when you're doom scrolling, that sort of annoys you, like cliches or things that you see other creators do, or it could be anything.
I mean, within the comedy, I love even the comedy creators. Even if I don't find their stuff funny, there's something like I appreciate that they're having a crack. And a lot of the stuff I do find funny, especially Australian creators. But I mean, I don't know, like there's nothing that really annoys me. I guess a bit of point of jealousy would be people who don't have to or don't intellectually have to do much on the app and they blow up.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get why, but yeah.
Why, man?
Oh, just because their content is appreciated by people.
Okay.
But I mean, it doesn't annoy me. Like it happens in other
If it annoys you,
areas.
it's
Yeah, it's funny. I think you guys would really like Stepmates, because Mark is like that. He see something and he'd be like, "It's fucking shit. It's objectively shit," but they get the views for it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he'll sit there and seethe over something, and I'm in agreement with him. When you when you're able to see all different types of comedy content because you're in the space, and you know that there's better stuff out there.
Yeah.
It was kind of like this thing with the stand-up event.
Yeah.
You know, Anthony's like, I know that I'm better than these people here, but they're like getting all these laughs because of some physical or personal attribute about them.
Yeah.
I can understand how that would be fucking annoying.
Yeah.
I think and one that was a bit annoying recently. We like just videos copping a straight screen record and re-upload by another account.
Oh, that's what I mean. That's what
That
I
happens
mean.
a lot.
So
It's
That
like
happens a lot.
it's TikTok, it's social media, so you kind of take it in your stride. But you see that blow up and get 10 million views, and they don't even, and they just straight up zoomed in on ours, so you couldn't see our username. And there's a bit like, come on, mate.
Yeah, or they use your sound and don't credit you. Like they use it as like an original sound.
Yeah.
Here's for all creators something that I picked up early on in this game: copyright strike it. That is the quickest way to get something taken down.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't even know how you do that.
Copyright strike. Search on Google platform copyright strike or DMCA takedown notice is a form of copyright takedown request to the platform. The reason why it's so successful is because they don't want to be sued.
Oh.
So they will take down first, appeal, go through later.
Yeah.
So if you report it for spam, bullying, copying, whatever, it can or cannot be taken down. But if you do it for copyright, it's an automatic takedown.
Wow,
that's
okay.
good. So consider that because I get questions like that all the time.
Because we also get accounts named Swag on the Beat, clearly a photo of us.
Yeah.
And they're trying to fake a giveaway to people. So that's pretty...
DMCA takedown.
That's what we need. That's when it becomes a bit more serious. Because people message us, go, is this actually you? And we go, no. We'll never do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, then we'll have to put up on our story. We'll report them. And a lot of the time it's like we report heaps and they come back to you saying we can't do much.
We can't do it, yeah. So DMs,
we'll do
copyright
that.
notice.
It's a great...
Instagram's brilliant for it.
Yeah.
If you ever get it on Instagram, I've had things where people have made like material about other talent of ours that is like pretty rude.
Really?
And DMCA takedown is you get it down immediately.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
There you go.
Thanks for the tip.
What about for you when you're scrolling? What pisses you off? People who can't play jazz or
No.
Cop that.
I respect anyone having a crack. Pisses me off.
Just like pop music, you know.
I don't really know. The thing that
the Wiggles?
here's a guilty pleasure
Oh, no.
is, you know, those you see like it's like a meme And one I saw recently was like, it's like supposed to like pump you up or something, and it said like, never like beg for someone's approval, always go your own way. Like you are the powerful one. That had a picture of Rowan Atkinson in like a suit, going like, ooh,
Yeah.
and you're like, that doesn't fit anyway. So that got me good. But
Okay, so
yeah.
you would quite like. There's Jacob and I found this. It's called Intrapreneur, or it's like entrepreneur spelt really whack, and it's like got a photo of Elon Musk. It's like work 27 hours a day, zero sleep, like
those are
this,
great.
that. Start $1 trillion side project overnight. Like, it's so dumb, and I've had friends message me, being like on Instagram, "What is this?" They don't realize it's satire.
I love that
I
stuff.
love it. All right, let's jump into some quick questions to finish off, and the thing here is it's going to be quick.
Okay.
Right?
How fast?
Because some people will sit there and just be like, "Man, I reckon."
What do
Okay,
you have on?
Take your time.
morning and evening routine. What does that look like?
Sleep in, watch TV.
Okay, evening.
Oh no, that was
That's
sleep in,
TV.
morning, evening, watch TV.
Okay, so
Unhealthy scroll through TikToks.
so doom
Unhealthy
scrolling.
routine. Yeah.
I don't know, guitar.
Quick, mate.
Guitar.
Quick.
Play guitar.
It's got to be
Jazz
quicker.
flute? No.
No, I haven't gotten the flute yet. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Last question for you guys. If you could have a billboard, let's say anywhere in Melbourne, so think about location. I reckon that's like the most important part. And then it can't be self-promotional. What would you
What?
put on it?
Wait, it can't.
Okay.
It can't be so.
So any content on the
It's like have a
billboard
good
is
day.
fine.
Anything is fine. You could put a dildo on it. You could be like, it could have hay on it. Like whatever you want. It just can't be self-promotional.
It's a hard question.
Can't be
Is this
self-promotional, but it can be promotional of someone else.
If you want.
Straight vote for Donald Trump next election. Be that.
I would go on the Tullamarine heading out towards the airport, and I would say, this one goes out to my dad, who's a pilot. So, Dad, if you're up there. And it's just,
so we're saying jokes now.
Oh,
We're gonna go.
Is your dad's clearly not a
he is not a pilot.
He's
no,
flown a few planes. Yeah.
not by choice, but yeah,
Okay.
we'll leave that alone. Cut. Dump that.
Yeah, dumb it, dumb it.
Yeah, I don't know what billboard.
I've got nothing.
I was trying to go for something like
You're the stand-up comedian.
humanitarian.
Yeah, man,
thing.
you're the writer. Come on. You
No,
should-
I do. I have nothing right now. Do you want to go, Isaac?
he went, man.
You can go again.
Yeah,
if
I
you want.
already went there. Yes, okay.
Donald Trump 2024.
I'd have me on Flinders Lane cropped into the Kardashians on one of their heads. That's all I got.
Now
So-
that-
The wraparound billboard.
That is
That's
gold.
kind of self-promotional though. So
Yeah.
Is
I'm
it?
not going to have it.
It's kind of not though.
yeah, I feel like it's a bad look.
Oh,
So they'll
sorry.
be like,
What do you
who?
got against the Kardashians?
We love the Kardashians.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Friends of the show.
It's a bad look of
They-
me.
This show.
Yeah.
Have you had them on yet?
No,
So
that would
next
be
episode
fucking.
They're good.
Fascinating.
I like them all.
I think
I love them all, yeah.
the three
of some of them.
like the Kendall, Kylie,
Craig.
and
Cameron.
Kim. The three they're all K's though, aren't they? Right,
Yeah.
like Courtney, Chloe,
Special
like a
case.
K-hole.
Yeah.
K-hole, deep on a K-hole. I think those
It's a
three
family
in
show.
particular, I think they're brilliant marketers. Like their mum is
Yeah,
clearly
big
like
time.
a fucking brilliant marketer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she does.
Like I
Kylie.
Pardon?
Caitlin.
Caitlyn Jenner. Yeah.
Okay, see that's telling me that like they fully understand the whole like marketing aspect. Like why not change it to a B like Bridget? Do you know what I mean?
Well, they've definitely made several
like,
billion-dollar empires.
Yeah,
so.
it's kind
They
of
know what they're
amazing.
doing.
So I would love to interview any of them. I think
Yeah,
it'd be
I think they're
fucking
incredible
fascinating.
people.
They'd be very similar to us.
I think people should.
like
I
level
think-
of success, looks.
Yeah, I think they're a little
You're
bit
saying they're
lower
not
than you
good
guys, though.
Oh, yeah, they're like 5'5" or something.
Yeah.
We're talking for height.
Gentlemen,
Sorry,
where
Jake.
can people find you on the interwebs?
Instagram,
Yeah, we like Instagram. Oh, we
like
like
Instagram,
TikTok as well.
TikTok, at Swag on the Beat with full stops in between.
Also YouTube, same username.
Yeah, YouTube too.
Oh, yeah,
Tell
so
me.
that is live now.
About to.
Don't go there yet.
Not the like 2 weeks from now.
Yeah,
this is out.
we've got shorts on our YouTubes. YouTube just one. But we will be coming out with a video very soon. So by the time
Oh,
this
you're on
podcast is
YouTube.
out, probably
Yeah, when's this getting released?
What do you reckon? 2 weeks from now?
Oh, we'll
The
be in
video
season
will be
3
out.
of our YouTube
Yeah.
show by then.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the first one will be out, so follow our YouTube.
Lovely. I'm looking forward to seeing it. We will link all of that. But
Perfect.
gents, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so
It's been a
much.
pleasure.
For having us.
Thanks so much.
Beautiful.
Appreciate it.